How's that? Is that any better? I got the mic right here. If I have to go back to the laptop mic, I don't. I've had nothing but problems the last couple of weeks. I tried a new light tonight. That didn't seem to work. The wife didn't like the way it looked. Um, I just got to man up and spend my stimulus on some good equipment. All right, I had the wrong. I don't know why the wrong mic was on. All right, let me start over again. First thing I want to say, and if anybody hasn't heard, I want to say how sorry I am to Boston Jimmy about the passing of his brother yesterday. He's not having a good week. I wish him the best. I told him if he feels like passing some time, if he needs to vent, he's more than welcome to come on the show as always. Um, I got to get into sports first. I don't understand why. I'm a firm believer. Nobody's worth 40, $50 million. Nobody. I don't. I love Pat Mahomes. Is he worth 50 million? Apparently, the Chiefs thinks he is. The Cowboys think that Dak Prescott is worth 40 million a year. I don't get it because today, the Saints signed another quarterback, running back, tight end, utility player in Tyson Hill because Drew Brees finally announced he's retiring. Thank God. I like Drew, but man, the fans down here have just been going nuts for the last couple of weeks or since the last game on whether he's going to decide what to do or not. I don't get it. I'm losing something. I lost something. There it is. I'm sorry. Um, I'm not sure. So they signed Tyson Hill, who is probably the best utility player in the NFL. They they put him behind center all the time, and they lose him at tight end. They lose him at running back. They lose him at fullback. You lose too much. I don't get it. And they paid him. He can play quarterback, but he's not a Jameis Winston, and he's not a Dak Prescott for sure. So you pay Tyson Hill $35 million a year for 4 years. That's nuts. 126 million guaranteed. That's just doesn't make any sense. Um, this is why I can't afford to go to the game. Nobody can afford to go to the game. Um, and you figure with all the revenue that they lost this year due to COVID, you want to make back ticket money as much as possible, as quickly as possible. But you're not going to do that when you're paying a quarterback that's not worth $35 million. I don't get it. I really don't. Sports is the only thing to talk about now. The elections are over with. There's stuff going on, but I was told I talked too much politics, so I'm going to stop. I lost a friend because of that. He didn't like my political views. I didn't, I wasn't all on his either, but I would talk, converse, move on, smoke a cigar. But it is what it is. I hate to say it, but it's there. But we do have border problems, and that's something that has to change. I don't know how bad it's getting. Apparently, it's getting bad. Um, I don't know. I'm not down there. This is about as far south as I'm going to go unless I move to Florida with Kevin. Um, Kevin, Kevin, let's move to Florida. We'll just relocate New York. We'll get rid of Cuomo in New York and then move south. I did want to show everybody. Like I said earlier, I cut that Karen Bergen Maduro with my favorite cutter, the Calibri Deep V and straight cut in one. Sharp, fantastic. But I still have the first cutter I ever purchased over, let me see, my kids were 12. We went back in 2001. Then we went back about 2005. Probably about 17, 18 years ago, I purchased this Zycar, and it still works. Cuts fantastic. I will never get rid of that. I will figure out a way to sharpen that if that ever needs to be sharpened, along with my Bugatti lighter. If you want a good lighter, Bugatti lighter is a great lighter. Is it as expensive as a DuPont? No. It is light as well? Yes. Actually, I got another Undercrown lighter. I think from, where did I get? I think I got this at the Barn Smoke we went to in 2019. And good for torch. They all you can pick up. That's one of the topics. There was somebody online that wanted to know, where to start. I started smoking cigars back in, like I said, 15 years ago. So probably about 2006. And I didn't know where to start. I only started because I was on the golf course one day. I was having a bad day. My friend said, "You need to just chill out and calm your nerves. Here, smoke a cigar." So he gave me a cigar. I can't even remember what it was. It had no label on it or nothing. But I said, all right, there's something to do on the golf course. Take your mind off the game. And it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. That, a couple of rum and cokes, and yeah, you're good to go. But where to start? One of the viewers asked last week. When I started going, I believe it or not, I did what a lot of people do, and I started off. My very first humidor was from like Cigars International, $29.99. You got 15 cigars. You got a humidor. You got a cheap cutter. You got a cheap lighter, and it's a start. Okay, it was a cheap humidor, but it worked and it served its purpose. Would I do it again? Absolutely. You got to start somewhere. It's like playing golf and buying a $140 set of golf clubs of Top Flight from Walmart or something. You got to start somewhere, and nobody make fun of you because you're new. You're a newbie. The cigar community is very outgoing. Very. The camaraderie is there. They're there. Anybody's there to help you. Nobody's gonna make fun of you. Nobody's gonna say, "Ooh, here, smoke this one first. Make this be your first one, and be a Maduro, and just knock your socks off." That's. I don't think anybody would do that. For the most part. But when it comes to cigars, I would have bought something like the Karen Bergen I smoke. I started labels, and not what I mean is not by label brands like Perdomo or Davidoff or believe me, when I first started smoking, I couldn't afford a Davidoff. I can't afford them now. But I started off. Ooh, that's a good looking label. So it was the labels that got me into smoking. Not and then the cigar. I like a nice looking oily cigar. Looks fantastic. But the labels start you. Smoke what you want. You smoke what you like. You eventually smoke what you like and like what you smoke. So go. I suggest start with a label, or go with a friend of yours that smokes a lot and let him start you off on something light. A nice Connecticut. Ooh, Karen Bergen makes a nice Connecticut. So there's Cafe 1901. Nice Connecticut's. Two of the best Connecticut's I ever smoked. So that's where I would start. I would start with the labels, and your first humidor doesn't have to be. Don't spend $300-$400 on a humidor on your first one, because you don't know if you're going to like smoking cigars. I think you will. It gives you a lot of time alone away from the wife, guys, or women. It gives you a lot of time away from your husband if your husband doesn't smoke. Your wife could be inside knitting, sewing, watching TV, doing whatever. You can come out in the garage and smoke and do a show for you guys. Today I do have to say happy birthday to my wife. Today is her 65th birthday. Happy birthday, Davy. I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for her and the two beautiful kids she gave me. Caitlin and Brendan. So back to the world of sports just a little bit. One of my favorite boxers passed away this week at the age of 60. I think he was 63 or 64. I can't remember exactly what age he was, but Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Wow, was he fun to watch. Him, I started watching boxing when I joined the military, and he was just fun to watch. He could fight. I think one of my favorite fighters to watch too was Sugar Ray Leonard and Mike Tyson. I was stationed. My first duty assignment was March Air Force Base in Southern California, and we got free tickets to the Olympics in 1984, and we got to see Sugar Ray, Michael Tyson, and a bunch of other guys fight for the Olympic team, and they were fantastic. I said, this guy is a beast in Tyson. He's going to be a beast, and he was. He just had a couple, personal problems, and that not that nobody doesn't have any. So it's just fun to watch, guys. Got a this is no bones about it, so I got to ask. Hola, Jorge from Punta Cana. So we have all this canceling stuff going on. Heckle and Jekyll, the two black crows, Pepe Le Pew, Elmer Fudd taking his gun away, the Roadrunner and Wild Coyote, too much violence in those. Heckle and Jekyll has something to do with the black minstrels. I don't understand some of it. To me, it's just like, if you're watching cable channel, there's too much nudity on this channel. Well, then just don't watch the channel. Don't watch the cartoon. I don't see him getting rid of any of this stuff on Nickelodeon, Cat Dog and all this shit. Wait till they go after South Park and the Simpsons. It's just nuts. But I guess where I'm getting to is they start with that, but yet the Grammys were last night, Sunday night, and I just read an article this morning, and it made absolutely no sense to me. I looked at the picture of this kid. I don't even know who it was. Some guy that was up for like 8 or 9 awards or something. He looked fairly young, maybe mid-20s, and he's wearing a pair of sneakers, a dinner jacket, and a onesie. A onesie. I don't understand. They condone that stuff, and they condone Cardi B for those awards for that song she sings, "Sweet" or "Wet Ass," whatever, P or something. I can't even say it. I'm just amazed that they let stuff like that go, but yet they try and get rid of cartoons. Dr. Seuss, Mr. Potato Head. There's no longer a Mr. or Mrs. Potato Head. It's just Potato Head. I don't get it. It makes no sense. If you don't want to see something, then don't do it. So 99% of the people that don't care we have to back off, as the 99% that don't care have to back off for the 1% that bitch and complain for whatever reason when it comes to anything. And I don't think we need to do that. All right, folks, if you, what's up, Jason? If you're signed in, some folks are coming up as Facebook user. You need to sign back out. Go in the description line. It says, click here if you want your comments to be read through StreamYard. Because I just see comments. I have no idea who I'm talking to. It happens. So just sign out, and come back in. Piece of cake. Damon, I'll be ready for your show tomorrow night. You need any help after mine, just give me a holler. Send me a text, and I'll be glad to sign on afterwards. See what you guys got going on. I'll sign up anyway and watch. So yeah, I don't understand the culture nowadays. Maybe I'm old. I am getting old. I'll be 60 in July. Um, I just had a friend text me something. He's running for alderman. I got to do something for him after the fact. I think he forgot I do a show on Monday nights, but I will take care of that. I am his campaign finance guy. Woohoo! What do you got? What topic you got this week, Damon? So you're watching No Bones About It on the Cigar Enthusiast Network. Falls under there are multiple shows under Cigar Enthusiast Network. You got, like I said, No Bones About It. You got Damon and Matt, the Roughnecks. They do Tuesday nights at 7:30 Central Time, which is right after my 5.5 Ladies Virtual Cigar Lounge with Mort and Matt. We've been doing that for a few things. Again, I'd like to comment back, folks. Somebody said, "What up? What you smoking, brother?" And I can answer you, but I don't know again who I'm talking to. You need to sign out and click on the StreamYard space back in. But I am currently smoking a Karen Berger Maduro. Well, I'm going to have to watch that, Damon, because I'm going to talk about it tonight too. I've been having. I'm now an ambassador for Karen Berger cigars and Don Kiki cigars, along with Rockefeller and GTO and Stogie Rhodes. But I got some cigars in, and I have absolutely no room. I am out of room. I had to break out the Coleman cooler from the attic, throw a couple of Bovita packs in there, a little distilled water, and a bunch of cigars. So I actually got the permission. I got South Dakota on the line too. But again, I don't know who it is. I'm assuming it's who it is, but I don't know. Please sign back out and click on the link in the description and come on back in. And if you want to come on, I'll bring you on. But I was given permission, since we already got our stimulus checks in the bank, people. Stimulus checks are in. I got to use my half of the stimulus check and buy a new humidor. I'm looking. Tom Lorenz. No, you're still showing on the Facebook, Tom. So I was given permission to buy a humidor. I'm looking at something on Quality Imports. Ray's going to help me choose the right one. I'm looking at one about holds 2,000. Oh, believe me, I'll never get that fill. I like the user had asked earlier about where to start. I said start off with a 35, 40 count, 50 count humidor. It quickly adds up. Then you can go to Tupperdoors. You can go to I mean, they work well, but I just got too many of those around, so I'm just trying to consolidate and get them all in one. But I've been fighting humidity and temperature problems. I told I see everyone's name. Can everyone see my name? No, cannot see your name. Just try going out and make sure you click that link through StreamYard that says allow comments to flow through StreamYard. So I've been fighting I told somebody my main humidor was sitting at, I think it was 63% humidity, or 66% humidity, and it was like 73 degrees. Way too high, he said. You know, the standard used to be 70 and 70 when we're using that glycol crap, whatever. But, you know, now a lot of folks just use distilled water, so it changes a little bit. So I'm fighting to get it down. So right now I'm sitting at, I think it's Tom, I don't know why I can't see your name then. I still see Nick as a Facebook user, but I'm sitting now at 63% humidity and like 72%, 72 degrees, which is I think is okay. No, 60. No, excuse me, 60. It's the other way around. It's 63 degrees and like 72% humidity. I can't get it adjusted. I have no Bovita packs in there, so I don't know. I'm just fighting. The cigars are smoking well. I don't see any beetles crawling out of them or anything. So the one I'm going to get is just going to be. I was going to go electronic. I didn't want to go electronic, and then somebody talked me into it because the electronic one just turns into a regular. Welcome, Marty. The electronic one just turns. If the electronics have go on it, it just turns into a regular humidor, and then you just have to go with it. Now I see your name, Nick. So Nick is one of the brothers at Cigar Clowns. Which Nick, I just got somebody said they didn't like the Cigar Clown for some reason. I don't know why. So I said I will take them. And I got 8 of them for like $60. Dude, if you get a chance, guys, go on cigarclowns.com, I believe it is, Nick. Is that right? And or Facebook on Cigar Clowns, friend him, like them, and make sure they got your email address because you'll get first dibs. No, not every cigar is for everyone. That is true. Everybody has a different palate. I enjoyed the ones I've had so far. Jason, that's what I got. I got the Andouille. I got a 200 count one, and I don't know. I got it. Maybe it's where I got it. I don't have it anywhere near a vent, a window. I'm sorry, folks. It's bravadocigarclubs.com. Make sure they got your email address, and I believe they send out emails when the next release comes out, and those are the first ones get first, and they go quick, man. They sell out fast. So order at least two 5-packs because they come in 5-packs. You're gonna like them, and you're gonna want to save a few. I was a member of Bravado Cigar Club. I'm not sure why I stopped that. Now so one of the Facebook users is saying they find that palate changes about every month. I learned this from Boston Jimmy, and I wrote the book name down, but I don't have the book on me right now. But the gentleman in the book explains how your palate. I never knew this. I mean, I'm not a scientist. I'm not by any means a chemist or anything. But your palate, every human body has pH, just like a swimming pool, just like anything else. It's got to be like 7.1 or 7.1 or 7.2, somewhere around there. And when your pH is off, the book says it throws off your palate. And if you want to get your palate back to where it should be, believe this or not, and I haven't tried it yet. I have to try it because I only have salted saltine crackers in that. So, take a saltless saltine cracker and just put it in your mouth and melt it. Put a little bit of water, swish it around, swallow it, and that will get your pH back to where it needs to be. No shit. I'm telling you, if Jimmy says it works, Boston Jimmy says it works, it works. I trust him. Even Nick from Cigar Clowns came back and said it works. It just blows my mind. Because I mean, it helps. Because if you sit in a lounge all day and you're smoking 2, 3, 4 cigars, sometimes you just go from cigar to cigar. You don't taste them. If I smoke in an event or something, I'll start off. I'm a medium to full, and the way I do it, I'll smoke what I smoke all day long, and my last cigar will be a Connecticut if I have one available. Not I buy one from the shop and go on. I like to end my night nice and easy. Jason, Jason just brought up a subject about palates and what goes with, a lot of cigars go with coffee. Actually, one of the best ones I ever had with coffee is the Tabak Especial and the Caffè 1901 Sumatra with a cup of coffee. Jason, I used to eat chocolate all the time. You put a piece of chocolate in your mouth, it melts in your mouth. You take a hit of your cigar, a couple hits, and it's fantastic. It definitely changes the complexity of your cigar for me. But when the doctor says, your blood sugar is a little too high, you need to lay off the sweets, I do that. Now, Marty Richardson is saying, yeah, a piece of chocolate is fantastic too, because it's dark chocolate is better for you. If you're going to eat chocolate, when it comes to your blood sugar and everything, eat dark chocolate. I love my milk chocolate. I love my Hershey's Kisses, M&M almonds, and the M&M. The M&M has a caramel or caramel insert. They got caramel M&Ms. Oh my God, people! I can't even begin to tell you how fantastic that is. But you got to watch your blood sugar because you want to be around the smoke cigars. I got it down to 95. I went out to dinner on a Wednesday night with what we call like a dinner club, and I ate Italian. I had the roll. Nick, I had some of the best eggplant I ever had. He's got rolls with olive oil, butter, and capers in it. Fantastic. Oh, the pretzel ones are good too. And my blood sugar, and then I had a pizza and an order calamari. And then on Friday, I had a pizza and order calamari. I tested my blood on Saturday, like 180. It needs to be about 95. So it went up exponentially. And I just, it just cut everything out. I want to be around. Nick, I have purchased cigars. The way I was taught to purchase a cigar is because sometimes you're taking your little hits or tokes, whatever you want to call them, and it builds up the tar or whatever little bit of nicotine is in there, and the bitterness. It creates the tar, and bitterness. So, like Marty says, you purge it every so often. You just take a hit and blow through it a couple times, and it'll purge the bitterness out of it and the ash taste. I am not a reviewer by any means. I just like to smoke. I enjoy the company. I met a ton of great people since this COVID thing started, which, according to Dr. Fauci, I don't have to worry about it anymore because I am vaccinated. Both shots. So in another week, I'll be able to hug and be wherever I want to be, according to Dr. Fauci and CDC. Do I buy that? No. Apparently, you can still get it because if anybody follows basketball, which is going on right now, they did the picks for the NCAA basketball tournament for the men's last night, and they're doing the women's tonight. And I saw where Gino Torretta, I can't remember his last name, the coach that coaches the women's basketball team at Connecticut. Apparently, he had his second shot like March 10th, and he came down with COVID. So it is, but he says he feels fine, but he tested positive. Could be a false positive. You don't know, but you can catch COVID. You can if you had COVID once, you can get it again. But the vaccine is doing for him just what it's supposed to do. From my understanding, it's not going to prevent you from getting COVID, but it'll help you not the effects be as severe as they could be. So please, I hated wearing a mask. I think it's one of but I wear it. If I want to go into a store that requires it, we're fully open in the state of Mississippi now, so we're not required to wear one in the store if the owner doesn't have a sign up. If Walmart has a sign up that says mask required, or we go in the store that says mask required, if we want to go in there, we have to wear a mask. I don't have a problem with that because that's required. If I want to go in the store, I'm going to do what the store owner says. If I don't want to go in, I'll just go somewhere else. It's that easy. The folks that don't want to get the vaccine, that's a personal choice. That's your choice. I'm okay with that. You got reasons why you don't want to get it. You got reasons why you do want to get it. it had the mask was not bad for the winter. Nick said, as cold as is up there, Nick, I can't even imagine anymore. I haven't been in the cold. Well, it gets a little chilly down here, but my daughter's still up in Nebraska, and they're apparently preparing for a big storm. They're talking feet of snow, and that's just I can't deal with that anymore. But I'll wear the mask to get through the door of Walmart. When I get into the store and I get down the aisle and there's nobody there, it comes off. I wear a gaiter, a double layered gaiter. I just pull it down. I walk through the aisle. If somebody comes in the aisle, I put it back on. You know, the mask is more for other people's comfort. I'm not worried about getting it. If I get it, I get it. But I don't want to give it to anybody else if I do. If I have it unknowingly, and that's the whole reason behind. I believe the mask is not so you don't get it, it's so you don't give it to somebody else in case. I really don't. I'm not a scientist, like I said, or a doctor by any means. If I was, I wouldn't be sitting in the garage talking to my friends, right? And with that, a growing number of nations are starting to. The AstraZeneca one apparently has problems. If that comes across, I don't think we're going to have that in the United States because a lot of the foreign countries were using that, and more nations are getting to the point where they are not using the AstraZeneca anymore because they're way worried about blood clots, and that's what scared me about the vaccine was blood clots. I was okay with everything else. If I got sick, I got sick. Chills, fever. My wife got her second shot yesterday. Her arm hurt for a little bit. Today, she ran a little bit of a fever, not much, and she's a little tired. I was tired on day 2, the second day the day after. I got it on Tuesday. That Wednesday, I was a little tired, but I think I just slept really bad that night. When you have 3 dogs and one feels that he is an 80-pound human, and he just jumps in the bed and tries to snuggle with you and everything. He even tries to get under the cover. It's an 80-pound pit bull, Kina. Love that dog to death. Nick, I got the Moderna. So did the wife. I like I said, first shot for me was my arm hurt very little, but no more than it ever did with a flu shot. The second shot last Tuesday, was it was a little more sore than the first time, but not much. And like I said, I was tired, and I can't attribute that to the vaccine, or it was either the vaccine and or a combination of that and the dogs jumping in and out of bed all night long. And then Nick, if you're not paying attention, you roll over on the arm that you got the shot in. That will wake your ass up, people. I'm telling you, that hurt. Good on you, Nick, because in New York, you don't know what's ever going to happen up there, man. Marty, are you VA by any chance? You military? Can you use the VA? I'll tell you how to get that. Another thing, the state of Mississippi, and I don't know how a lot of people feel, but I might have a difference of opinion on this now because I got some information from somebody, and it totally made sense. Like I said, I'm not a biologist either or anything, but the state of Mississippi passed a law that if you're going to compete in women's sports, high school or whatever, you will compete in the gender sport that you were born as. So if you're a transgender woman and or a transgender man and you're switching over to be a woman, you cannot compete in women's sports. Yeah, that's what birthday punches, Nick. And so you can't do that. And I agree with that 100%. Because these guys are just knocking women on their asses. But what was pointed out to me, and I mean, this makes total sense. These are the ones that say, I just identify as. Okay, that must be Tom up in South Dakota. South Dakota just passed the same thing. They did, Tom, but it's great at the high school level or any level. But if the man's just switching, just says, I feel like a woman, I want to compete as a woman, okay? And Jason, that's what I thought. Men are built differently from women. They absolutely are. But this person made total sense, and I don't know how true it is. I'd have to do research. I got doctor friends. I'd ask them, but if they just say, I feel like I identify as a woman and they compete, that's totally wrong. Now, if they've gone through the whole process, I'm told, the hormone therapy and all of that, the hormone therapy eventually gets them to right where they need to be as a woman, and it takes away their strength. It takes away because it decreases the body chemistry. So I don't know how true this is. I think if a 14-year-old girl decides she wants to do that, kid wants to do this, and he does it, and he goes through all the therapy and gets it all done. At that point, why not? I don't know. I don't know. Wow, Georgia just opened up too. We're slowly opening up, people. Everybody is getting. Nick's governor in Cuomo in New York finally admitted that we need to be open, but he hasn't really opened yet. I don't think, Nick. You guys still required to wear masks and quarantine coming into the state. That's one thing a couple things keep me from going back and visiting my family in New York is a different center of gravity. But doesn't that, I disagree, it's proven men and women have a different center of gravity. But I don't know, will that affect your performance in any sport, Jason? I don't know. That's right, Nick. Assholes running New York. De Blasio and even what's his name, Barone, I think out on Long Island, says he's going to run for governor. That's another idiot. But so Mississippi did that. We talked about the proper temperature, and I don't know. I got to do a lot more research because you get into the cigar environment, the cigar culture. Things add up. Before you know it, you might have 40 or 50. Then you see a deal at Cigar Towns, or you see a deal at Cigar Bundles in Miami. Buy 2 bundles, buy 3 bundles, get 1 free. I don't get it. It just adds up. They add up quickly. Whatever you do, don't get on cigarbid.com. It's the devil. It's the devil. You're going to see things on there, and you're going to go like, oh, man, I'd love to have that at this price. You put in your max bid, say if it's going for like 5-pack for $10, and you say, oh, I'll pay $20 for those. You put 20 as your max bid. It automatically increases your bid if you get outbid. But then sometimes, when the first times I went on there, I put a max bid of I think it was $100 for a bundle of Oscar Leafs, the Maduros. And I was like, there was like 13 minutes left. I said, oh, I ain't gonna get this. I got that bundle for $90. That's about a year and a half ago. But I was just like, whoa, it kind of made my day. That was pretty good. It is, Nick. Cigar Bid is the devil. I don't know how they do that. I don't know where they get the supplies from. I believe Cigar Bid is owned by Nick. You might be able to correct me if I'm wrong. Cigars International. I believe so. They buy in such bulk. They can do what they do. But it's a great place for a beginner to buy. To start off, and especially if your shop doesn't carry what you want, you got all sorts of places. CoronaCigars.com. You got Smoking.com. I mean, you got so many. You got BoutiqueSmokes.com. If you're a boutique smoker, go to BoutiqueSmokes.com. They carry, I think it is 47 different boutiques right now, and I think new ones signing up every few days. Doc Caffey and from Caffey 1901 is the president, and Armand, Caplion out of New York. From he owns DAV Cigars. Is the treasurer secretary or interim vice president now. They don't have a current vice president right now. So they also do Saving the Legacy podcast. Great podcast to listen to. You want to learn about what's going on. Tom, why are they having a hard time getting one of the Tom from South Dakota is saying his local BNN is having a hard time getting cigar inventory. I wonder why that is. When Justin here, the owner of Coast Cigars in 2420 Government Street, one of the sponsors of my show on Tuesdays, he has no problem getting them in when he orders. I mean, there's a little lag in delivery delay sometimes because UPS and the post office is so far behind for whatever reason. I don't know. Oh, they go through a wholesaler. Okay. And demand is high. Yeah, if the wholesaler runs out, then they have to wait. And a lot of people do that because it's easy to go through a wholesaler. They don't have to deal with the reps and all that. They just get what they want, get the customers what they want. But I had a very interesting question the other day that kind of I went into a local called Smokies here in Ocean Springs. They sell cigar. They got a small humidor, size of a nice sized walk-in closet, not very big. I got a variety of some stuff, a lot of off brands, a lot of Forum, and then the factory special mismatches or whatever, and some known cigars, Rocky Patel. They got some stuff, and she said, "Yeah, I'd be interested in buying." I was trying to get a Don Kiki and Karen Berger in there, and she said, "Absolutely," but she asked me if they had the surcharge, the not surcharge, the excise tax. State of Mississippi is a 15% excise tax. So as soon as a B&M in or wholesaler gets cigars in, they need to pay a 15% sales tax to the state of Mississippi within 48 hours. Yeah, it's hard on some folks. They got a budget, they got a want, they got a, so what this lady owner had asked me, says, if they will invoice me with the 15% sales tax on there, so say, it's 100, wow, 35% of South Dakota. If the bill's $100, okay, basically you got to add $15 that they want to be billed for $115, and they'll pay the wholesaler the $115 or manufacturer $115. Then the manufacturer has to pay the state of Mississippi the surcharge. And I was like, wow, that's a really good question, and it totally made sense to me. Because she said that way, she goes, I've been doing this for 26 years with these companies, and I don't have to mess with the paperwork with the state. It's all up to them. They want my business, they do that. If they don't, then they don't do it. But I found it to be a very, very interesting question, and I got to get a hold of the sales manager for Don Kiki and Karen Berger and ask him that. And I don't know if I might have asked him online, but he was camping with the family this weekend. Anybody got any questions? I'll answer anything. This is a good one. I got a good one for you, and this makes absolutely no sense. Close to South, I don't know how close Michigan is to South Dakota. My geography is terrible, but the state of Michigan, okay, has passed a law that says masks are mandated all the time in any type of smoking lounge. Any place that you can smoke, you have to wear a mask all the time. So people are like, okay, that makes no sense. How do you smoke a cigar with a mask on? Well, I don't think there's anything saying you can't cut a hole in it and your mask is still on. But people are like, well, if you got to wear a mask all the time, you can't smoke, which theoretically you can't. But again, put a hole in it, What are they going to do? Is that in the law too? Says you got to wear a mask and little holes don't count? I don't know, but if somebody wants to, they're going to get away with anything. People can get around just about anything. Um, so that's another state that's losing. I can't even read my own handwriting, guys. I'm sorry. Um, so we talked about doing the labels and doing the show. I don't know. I can't go with that one. I can't even read my own handwriting. It's terrible. My handwriting is really, really bad. I do want to put a shout out for two of my friends here in Mississippi, in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. Right, Tom, your governor is fantastic, and she's hot too. We discussed that on Tuesday. Um, she reminds me of Gabby Tulsi out of Hawaii. I want to say good luck to Jeff Mortensen, a good friend of mine, a fellow asshole on Tuesdays, running for alderman of Ward 5 in the city of Ocean Springs. I wish him luck. He wants to make good changes, as does Mike Bryant of Greater Home and Auto in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, is running for alderman in Ward 1. They're both running against somebody. I think Mike's got 2 or 3 he's running against, and Jeff has got one person he's running against, the incumbent. But Jeff has promised to not raise taxes, people. So, and he's a man of his word. He's the only conservative in Ward 5 in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, running for office. If you guys need a place to vacation, come on down to Mississippi. You're more than welcome to Coast Cigars. You too, Nick. Thanks for signing on. And what's tonight? Tonight is Monday. Oh, there's no other show on. There's usually no shows on. Well, Shirtless Mike should be on right now. Might sign on and watch him when I'm done here with you guys. I appreciate everybody signing on. I know I ramble a lot. It's been a busy week at work. I worked all week, Saturday and Sunday too. I worked for the Air Force Reserves, and it was what they call a UTA weekend, a training weekend, and all day Saturday and Sunday, because we're getting back to the norm. The last year, I can't remember the last time we actually had a full, what they call UTA on base, because of COVID restrictions, and the military's lifted their restrictions a little bit. Welcome, Mo. How are you? So things are starting to slowly get back to normal. I can visit. I'm slumping here. I'm sorry. I can start traveling a little bit. I'm kind of limited. Well, I work for the reserves, but we have to go by whatever the base commander says. So we're still kind of on the travel restrictions. We can't go out of state. We can't. Well, excuse me. We can't cross the state lines without being on leave or anything like that. So you're supposedly not supposed to make a trip to Alabama. Alabama is about, Mobile's about 45 minutes east of us, and New Orleans is about, and 45 minutes and about 50 miles maybe. It all depends on traffic. And then New Orleans is only about 89 miles west, about an hour and a half. So getting there is a chore too sometimes now, because if you get somebody sick, when you come back, you get a world of hurt. You get in trouble. She really can't do anything to us other than say, all right, you're banned from base for 2 weeks. You need to quarantine. If she just finds out, even if you don't get anybody sick. No. But it is what it is. It's a thing. I don't know about you guys, but my COVID relief check was in the bank Friday afternoon, waiting to be deposited. It is a pending transaction. It's going to drop on the 17th. So they sent it out on Friday. People got to realize just because it's in the bank doesn't necessarily mean it's available. I was wondering, when's it going to drop? When's it going to drop? And then I looked and I was like, oh, it says 3/17/21. Oh, okay. It'll be there Wednesday, which is perfect. That's also Social Security Day for the wife. Woohoo! It's like having another payday. But I will be using part of that for you too, Marty. Thanks for signing on. It is getting close to an hour, folks. Other than I really don't have anything else unless somebody has a question or something they want to talk about. The NCAA, the last thing I talked, the NCAA tournament. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who's going to win. I don't know. Yeah, Gonzaga is undefeated. They haven't, their number one seed in the overall seed in the tournament. Can they make their way all the way through? I don't know. I really don't. I don't think so because it's hard to do going wire to wire in any sport. Last team I think I know did it was Florida State in 13, number one at the beginning of the year, number one at the end, and won the national championship. But basketball, we know how the NCAA Final Four go, the tournament. Way unpredictable. But I do want to thank everybody for signing on. I will see you again next week. I didn't make it all the way through this Camberga Maduro. I will be smoking the GTO La Cura next week, that's for sure. And stay smoky, folks. Put some smoke in the air. Thanks for signing on. I appreciate it. And like I said, if anybody ever needs anything, just send me a message.